All right. Talked about the quarterbacks. Excuse me. We've talked about the quarterbacks. We talked about the running backs. We talked about the wide receivers and tight ends. You know we got to get to the big uglies. You got to talk about the O-line. Very, very experienced O-line. We did lose Dahlman in free agency to Chicago Bears, our center. I mean, they paid him what we couldn't. At the end of the day, they paid him what we couldn't. And because he got hurt last year and Ryan Neuzil, if I pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry. Ryan Neuzil came in and played pretty well. That gave us a little bit of flexibility and gave us something to ponder about should we pay Dahlman or pay somebody else. So we let Dahlman go. So now Neuzil is in calling the plays, calling the protections. This is his first offseason as a full-time starter. The beginning was a mixed bag, good and bad. That's what you expect in the first 2 days of camp. He's now settled in. He and James Pierce have been going at it. The whole offensive line and James Pierce have been going at it. Bergeron is the edge that we needed on offense in our offensive line. I love Chris Lindstrom, probably top 2 guard in the league. Jake Matthews, Mr. Consistency. But Bergeron has come to the defense of everybody, all the offensive linemen, every time there's a scuffle. Just so happens it's James Pierce, but whoever it is. And then at the end of the day, he's like, man, our team is good. Those defensive guys are going to make an impact, and they're going to be stars. Because he knows he's got to get them tough. That's how he was at Syracuse, if I'm not mistaken. Bergeron reminds me of, was it Harvey Dahl? Y'all remember Harvey Dahl in like 2012, like 10, 12 years ago? He was the guy who, would take the helmet and throw it across the field. If they got, and he'd get to fighting, and he would defend the quarterbacks and everything. We need that type of edge. We need that type of fear. We need that type of camaraderie for our O-line, because the skill positions can only go as far as the O-line takes them. Storm Norton, a little bit of injury. Storm Norton's been hurt. He's our backup O-lineman. I think he's our backup tackle and guard. He's like a swing tackle type guy. So I hate that he's hurt, but it does open it up for Jack Nelson. Jack Nelson is the only offensive player we drafted this year. We all drafted a right tackle or a tackle from Wisconsin. And because Storm Norton is hurt, he's been working in a backup with the twos at backup right and backup left tackle. So that will be an interesting battle to watch between Storm Norton and Jack Nelson, especially if Jack Nelson plays well. But, of course, the big news is that we signed Kaleb McGarry to 2 years, $30 million extension. My thoughts are, and this is a callback to episode 2 or 1 or 2, where we talked about the offense and Kaleb McGarry. I'm nervous about him being Michael Penix's blindside protector. I don't think he's ever been a blindside protector. He's always been a right tackle with a right-handed quarterback. Somebody fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. So now you do lock him up. And again, that the extension for me is more about another move versus locking him up, because again, that created $11 million in cap space. It's also a very, very tradable contract. So at the end of the day, I don't know if this gives any more stability or any more assurance that he'll be on the team next year than he already had before. So, but again, if he plays really, really well, he'll be right back at the table next year to do some discussions. This is more of a prove it deal. Really. It's more of a prove it deal. So it is what it is. But what I am happy about is we are turning into, our O-line is getting the reputation of being a mauling O-line. Y'all got to get y'all pass protection better. That's what I'm going to look for in the preseason. I got to see your pass protection. Our run game has always been top 5. Shout out to you, Arthur Smith. You got us where we needed to be on that. We're good. But our pass protection has to be stellar because we got to keep Penix healthy, right? So again, training camp wrap up for offense, QBs, running backs, wide receivers, O-line, all pretty much settled. But the outliers of the roster are going to be very interesting. The outlier battles for the roster spots will be very interesting. All right.